Hey everyone, it's Nick. Today we're gonna talk about monster spawning. Man, this is my fourth attempt at trying to pronounce spawning properly in an intro, but it doesn't work. We'll just go with it. But what's also difficult is monster spawning, and I'm going to try to visualize it as best as I can with these three columns so that you can understand why spawning might not work in your world, or why your monster farm is not working the way you want, or maybe you're just curious about how it works. So let's presume that villager right there is the player, you or somebody else in the middle of the night, and he's expecting some monsters to spawn. The first column that you see is this gray one, which is made from andesite, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is 24 blocks radius. So every line is the radius, so you have to imagine a circle going around. So within a 24 block radius, monsters will not spawn. They will spawn once they're outside of 24 blocks. So you need to have a minimum distance to any mob, any hostile mob in fact, which guarantees that you're a little safer, and that for example, if you build a mob farm, don't sit right next to it. It's different when you have a monster spawner, but we'll get to that at the end. But go away at least 24 blocks, which is good. You don't want to be sitting right in their face. The red line you can see up here is 128 blocks long. And what that represents, in fact I should have made it 240 blocks long, but what it represents is the spawning distance, the maximum spawning distance. So monsters will spawn anywhere within the 24 blocks away from you, up to 240 blocks in that direction. So you have a large area that monsters can spawn in. But if there's no player within that area after 128 blocks distance, the monsters will despawn immediately. So it doesn't really make sense to extend this line any further. What you're getting efficiently is this right here, 24 blocks up to 128 blocks right here. In this area, monsters can spawn around you. And now we have the third line, which is this white polished granite, I think. No, smooth quartz. Haven't played this game in so long. This is 32 blocks long. And when you, let's say we spawn a creeper right here. When that creeper spawned naturally, and you're just standing there, and that creeper was standing there, it is more than 32 blocks away from you, which means that when you don't enter his area, when it is further away than 32 blocks for at least 30 seconds, there will be a chance of it despawning, which is 2.47% per second. So you're having a few seconds, and then probably, most likely, all mobs that are further away than 32 blocks from you will despawn. That's actually pretty simple, and if it's not, you can just watch this video again or check out the description where I posted the most important things you need to know about spawning. So those are the three things. Minimum distance is 24 blocks, and then maximum distance in theory is 240 blocks, but it is on single player at least 128 blocks, and any mob in that area which is further away than 32 blocks will despawn within with a 2.47% chance per second. Alright, some other things to consider is that your light level has to be lower than 7 if you want mobs to spawn. So it's daytime right now, so the light level is of course larger. You can check out the light level that you have in your F3 screen. It's not the F3 button for everyone, but on PC it is, and this is called the debug screen, and you might have to Google how you get to that. So you can see light right here, and this will give you the light level of well, your surroundings. And when that's lower than 7, it will, well, spawn mobs if it's nighttime. So let's say we set the time to nighttime, and you can see everything that's spawning around me is at least 24 blocks away. And if they, let's say they pick up an item that I drop, or they kill me and they pick up my armor, which sometimes happens, they will not despawn. You can kill them and get your armor back, or if you name them using a name tag, they will also not despawn. But those were some of the basics you need to know. This does not apply to monster spawners. So let's say you find a dungeon and you are building a small monster farm around that. You have to be within 16 blocks of that spawner. So that's a whole different story. But it's also fairly simple, I guess. You just have to be close by in order for it to spawn. One other important thing to consider is mob farms when you are trying to harvest mobs, which some would consider cruel, but I guess you need the gunpowder to do some awesome stuff, is the mob cap. The mob cap for a single player is 79 mobs, and it's being checked every second 20 times. And the mob cap for a single player is 79. There's a formula that you can use to calculate it, which is too complicated for this video right now, but you can check it out on the Minecraft wiki. I also link to that in the description. And what that implies is, of course, that you can only have 79 mobs, hostile mobs, within your world. So what you want to do when you have a mob farm is kill them as fast as possible so that they will respawn as fast as possible, which makes sense, right? Okay. That's it about spawning. As I said, if you have any questions, watch this video again or check out the description, and if that doesn't help, please don't refrain from writing a comment. I'm happy to have seen you, and I will thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye. See ya.